Hi, I'm Diggin, and thanks for joining me. I am actually recording this for two reasons. Most importantly, you matter. That's my first reason, is that you matter. And the second reason is it's frightening. Misinformation is frightening. And living in a time where you can pretty much click onto anything or anywhere in the world, it's really hard to decipher what is fact and what isn't fact. And that's what really concerns me. And this video, I hope, is shared because it is so vitally important. And what this concern is concerning what I'm hearing on the internet concerning meditation. Now, unfortunately, throughout the decades, I'm going to say a lot of people cashed in on other people's intuitiveness or gifts that were given to them that they were born with. And that's great, all fine and dandy, that they were born with, but it's the cashing in. It's the people that, and here's my issue, the people that have picked up a couple of books, read half, whole, one, two, or three, and said, okay, now I got it, I'm a professional, I read it, I can do it. Only to find out that they're no further ahead in their search than when they initially started searching. Now, I have, as of recently, heard this again on YouTube, and I just went, I really played with that. I really did, going back and forth and what back and forth. Do I say something? When do I say it? Do I do it? Don't I do it? I don't like to create clashes or confrontations, but what won it for me, what it took over my heart, and I started to feel this ache, not for myself, but for you, people like you that are watching me, or looking, or searching, and wanting the truth. Something as important as meditation shouldn't be spoken of so lightly, in the sense of, hey, you know what, you don't need to take any courses, you don't need to take any classes, read this book and you'll be able to do it. Well, I'm going to say, read that book, yes, but to think that it's just going to take that book in order for you to go ahead and put into action what you learned, practice what you learned, the success rate, unfortunately, as far as I am concerned, is rather low. And the reason is because people don't have any idea where that quiet place is. They have, and when they're in that quiet place, what do they draw from? Now, others are going to say you draw from the nothingness. I say poppycock. I say bullshit. You don't draw from nothingness. You don't. Even the silence that we hear out in the universe has a purpose. There's movement. There's action going on. There isn't that real silence. Otherwise, the universe could not sustain itself. Our solar system could not sustain itself. And we, being a part of it, we could not sustain ourselves. So there's a real danger in that. And then, unfortunately, there's more information that comes with that, more information that comes with that. And then fear is pumped into that by everybody and their dog. Going, oh, hey, there's dark, energies. You don't know, leaving yourself open, what energies you're drawing of yourself. And before you know it, you've got step 1 to step 60. It should never be that way. Reaching that state of consciousness is very simple if, in fact, you can connect it from here. and not from here. Because you'll never achieve that wellness, that spirituality, that ability to meditate if in fact it only stays here. And that's what you gain if you only read a book. Hey, read this book, because then you're not going to be able to have to learn anything. You're just going to be able to do it. That book does not connect you. Any book does not connect you here. It connects you here. Now, the intellect, it sits on the spirit, but it's not the core of the spirit, just as it sits on a soul. The core is here. So is there a need? Because I want an honest answer from anybody and everybody who comes across this video. If you have picked up a book and went, okay, this is all that I need, tell me, did you achieve that? Did you actually achieve the ability to meditate and make those changes around you? Because you do have to add positive vibration. You do. And believe me, when I'm in a hole, there is, people go, oh, hey, you know what, when you're in a hole, that's the best time. Nada. The reason is because this is hurting. And I know darn well that as long as this is the influence and it's hurting, well, then I got to get things right up here. And it works the other way around. You need that knowledge. And that knowledge only comes through understanding and experience. So you don't just pick up a book, read it, and voila, you'll be able to know what it is and how it is to meditate and what it is that you're looking for to achieve. How do you recognize it? How do you recognize that you're there when you're there, that you've achieved it the way that you seeked it? And that's where a huge problem comes in. Because you're misleading that individual. You're taking away that experience that is going to better that individual. Help them move forward, to take that step forward. Into it, whether it's higher or forward, it's into a better place. Now, like I said, when I'm done blowing my nose and I dry up my tears and I breathe deeply, only then can I go into that state of meditation, because of the going-ons of the heart, plain and simple. You have to ask yourself, was there a requirement of you to connect with the universe in order to achieve the meditative state that you seek? At what point, if you have tried meditating, or you do meditate, have you reached that point where you yourself are the drop of water? The drop of water that is dropped into another element of water. And as we can see with our own eyes, there are ripples. These ripples are like the ripples in our lives, because each experience is a ripple. So have you reached that level of understanding and that connection where you truly identify, wow, I did it. I did it. Now, how do you know you did it? Is because when you're well and done and you come back, you are all refreshed. There is a rebirth that happens via meditation. Now, you don't need a whole lot of candles or incense, or go to the quiet place and your whole world has to shut down and be quiet in order for you to meditate. And that's nonsense as well. What I teach myself, and this is not a plug, by the way, this is fact. What I teach other people, myself, is how to connect within minutes, and I call this meditating in chaos. Why? Because our world is so busy and so demanding, And when we get on a roll, we've got this we have to do on a day, and this I want to achieve, this I need to nurture. And if you have any time at that point, well, the rest of your world is able to spend time with you. I call it meditating in chaos, because you could be at work, you could be in a department store, you can be in a shopping mall, you could be in a grocery store. You should be able to stop, quickly reconnect, take in what you need, let it go, and feel happy and positive in minutes. Literally in minutes. Hence, meditating in chaos. Now, there's some people that might scoff at this and scoff at that, but I'm pretty sure I can go back to the owners of different, or surgeons, nurses, doctors. I could go back to all of them and say, hey, look, would you mind validating this? There are some people that I know that are being influenced, and it gives me fear that they're going down the wrong road and not being able to achieve this. It is so important that we have this understanding of how we get to that level, and as quick as we can, because most people will say that's unheard of. But yet, the success that they've achieved, they've all said to me, like, wow, Diggin, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars, and I don't know how many seminars, and how much time I've spent in different places, looking to achieve what I've achieved here for so little money and for so much of your time. So much so, and I don't think she would mind at all. A nurse, her name is Karina. She was one that was really uncertain as to whether she should take the class or not. But I mean, they filled up so much, it really blew my mind, because the one class I had to extend. So I thought one class, I ended up doing 2 classes, and each class was 2 hours. So it ended up being quite a bit, actually. I'm trying to think how did that work, because I booked the one day. I ended up having to book the 2 days because so many people had purchased the course. And a lot of companies, what they did was they took everything that they gained from that course and they applied it to employees. And what ended up happening is these companies ended up becoming really productive financially, really productive. And where I was talking about Karina, I had received a phone call, and they had asked, hey, look, we're having a meditation circle here. A couple of us spoke of you, and there's somebody here that could really use you coming around. It really means a lot to all of us. So I thought, okay, but I don't want to lead meditation, the meditation circle. I want somebody else to do so for evaluation purposes. And so I spoke to the owner. They own orchards, and they said, hey, look, when I came to you for a reading, everything sounded great, right up to the point where you said I was going to run a marathon. And that's when I thought, I came across a crook. There is no way possible that I could run a marathon because of how damaged his knee was. And I said, look, you're going to do this. The healing that you seek is going to happen. And it's going to happen so everybody else can see it. So understand that you're going to be a part of the healing for these other people because you have testimony. It's plain and simple. And he said, I told her this. She's a nurse. I told her this. And I said, okay, I'll see her, but I'll see her in a different room. And she was a little worried, rightfully so. I mean, when you hear some of the garbage that other psychics and other readers or spiritual people have to say, it is sad. It is really sad. They use fear to steal money from people that don't deserve to be stolen from. I'm not saying anybody does, but it's a racket, and it's enough to break your heart. It really is. So she was a little worried, I was asked to, and she said, can I have somebody in the room? I said, absolutely. Like, this is no woo here. I'm not a witch of any sort. Not that I have issues with witches. Witches, don't bag on me, man. You know what I mean? I am known as a universal witch. They call me that because I'm a healer. So during this, she broke down in tears because I said, talk to me. And she said, I have to have surgery tomorrow. I said, okay. By your state, it's pretty serious. And she said, yes, I'm having cancer removed from my leg. And I said, oh dear. And she said, I'm worried about amputation. I said, oh, rightfully so. That worm is a son of a bitch. Sorry, but it is. And once it gets itself in there, it's really hard to get it out. So I said, okay, I needed to know what I was up against and what we could do for you. So I said to her, okay, you sit in this particular chair and I will sit on this stool. And as she was talking, I started humming, very lightly. I started humming. And what she was unaware of was what the humming was doing. And I was igniting myself. And in igniting myself came the answer as to, is it meant that she be healed? Or is there a higher purpose, and that is to stay there? Because I have to go according to the laws of the universe, according to the laws of God. That's me. That's just who I am. No one's putting a gun to my head saying, hey, you've got to do this because of this or because of that. This is my own. And so I said, okay. And so I was humming, very lightly humming and listening. And I said, Karina, do you mind if I just touch your shoulders for a little bit? You're tense. And she said, but it's my leg. I said, oh, I understand that, honey. I really do. No worries. I would just like to touch your shoulders to see how tense you are. And what I did when I touched her shoulders, I just removed the blocks that were all caused by fear and all caused by knowledge, by science, is what I did. So after doing this for about 5 minutes, the gentleman's home that we were in, his name was Joseph, he kind of looked at me because he was really uncertain. For different people it's different things, it's different ways. So I came back around and I sat down in front of her and she was still talking. I encouraged the talking, talk to me. And this way it was calming her down. It was relaxing her. And I could see the unblocks. I could see the blocks breaking open. And these, like I said, these blocks were created by fear, by science, by statistics, very fearful. And so at some point, I cracked a joke or two using her own words. And through her tears, and I passed her Kleenex, of course, through her tears, she just said, I just can't believe I'm so devastated, and you broke me into a laughter. That was my cue right there. The fact that she had admitted that she was releasing fear without effort and finding it within herself physically to laugh, I placed my hand on the leg that was ill. I just said, oh, be gone with that, without her even realizing. She said, what? So I said it again. I put my hand on her leg. I said, oh, be gone with that. She said, be gone with what? I said, anything that is negative. It doesn't belong to you. It doesn't belong to you in any way. Not physically, not emotionally, not psychologically, not spiritually. It doesn't belong to you. And so when she completely regrouped herself, I said, okay, we're done. And she was like, what? And he was like, what? And at that point, he went to go get his wife. And he told her, and she's like, what? And I said, we're done here. And she goes, what do you mean we're done here? And I said, Karina, you came in here for healing, and that's what I've given you. And she said, are you certain? I said, look, when you go to the hospital tomorrow morning for prepping, you're going to have tests. It's going to be gone. It's as simple as that. She said, how do you know that? I said, because you gave me the authority. She was puzzled. She was really puzzled. The people there were puzzled. The people that were there meditating were puzzled, going, okay, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, the gentleman, he knew he was for the healing, for the knee. He knew at one point, because it was visual to him, that he was receiving the healing, even though he doubted, hugely doubted. Okay, beautiful woman, beautiful girl. She goes to the hospital the next morning, and she gets all prepped up for surgery. And, she was scared all the way. She was terrified all the way. The surgeon, and her being a nurse working at that hospital, she knew the surgeon would have to take more tests that morning concerning what was to happen in surgery. Minutes, an hour, half an hour before that. He came back into the room and he said, Karina, I have been a surgeon for this long of time, this many years. And she's like, absolutely. He's a specialist. And she said, absolutely. He said, I don't know how to say this. I really don't. I mean, I'm really happy to, and I am going to tell you because I'm so happy. But I feel like I'm unraveling. And she's like, what did you see? What did you tell me? Did it get worse? Did it spread? Because they were talking about all this. He said, no, it's not there. She's like, what? He said, the cancer, it's not there. She goes, what do you mean it's not there? He said, that's what I asked the other doctor. What do you mean it's not there? And they looked, they took more tests, gone, completely gone. Just, he said, what happened in less than 24 hours? What happened? And she said, well, in our world, everything is very scientific. But I did go see this woman that everybody recommended because they called her and they no longer had the issue. So I was really hoping, really hoping that it would happen to me. He said, you went to see one of those. She said, she's a healer, flat out. He said, how much did she charge you? She said, nothing. All she asked me was to thank God. That was it. Now, remission, right? Remission. There was no remission. That cancer did not come back. When she validated, it didn't belong to her. It wasn't hers. She should not be carrying an issue like that when it wasn't part of her path. Gone. And to this very day, gone. It's still gone. That cancer never came back. And I have to say, God bless her, because when I do get out to the city of Vernon, that's where it was, I think with myself publicizing, okay, I'm back, I will redo this, because I stay away for a few years, and then I go back. I do know through people that know people that know people that know people that know people, to this very day, Karina is healthy. The cancer never came back anywhere in her body. And to this day, she thanks God. She doesn't go see other readers because of what they did, and it was disgusting. I will mention that in one of my videos. It blew me the way I just... Yeah. So, without that knowledge of meditation, because I do clearly state, look, in you taking this, in you learning this, meditating in chaos, what you're going to find is very naturally you're going to be able to heal other people, including yourself. Like I said, this is not a sales pitch. I don't need to sell it. I don't. I am moved by compassion. And in fact, people that I don't know, that I see and I feel horrible things that they're told, or horrible predictions, or what is happening in their life, I will go out of my way and go, excuse me, I need to tell you this. And 9 times out of 10, they're shocked. Like, how do you even know this? And the people, unfortunately, that don't believe in what it is that I'm saying usually end up calling me back and going, hey, look it, I blew it. Is there another way? Is there another chance? And I have to sometimes say, no, I'm so sorry, you know. And 9 out of 10, it's usually because they can't figure out why I haven't asked anything from them. Period. You know, this one said, look, this is not right. I have to give you something. Something. And what ended up happening in that situation there, she was pregnant. She went into labor, and her husband showed up there a little bit late. I was there, and doctor couldn't be found, nurses couldn't be found, and that was it. I delivered her child, to make a long story short. And I said, there you go, you did give me something. You gave me that payment. You know, you gave me the privilege and the honor of welcoming your baby boy, you know, into this world called life. And there's no greater privilege than that. So, this is something you're not going to learn out of a book. It's not just a book that you need. You need to understand the process. And this process, as simple as it is the key to this world's success. So please, if you are looking into meditation in any way, shape, or form, understand, 1, it's not just a book, and 2, do your homework. Do your homework. Get to know information about that person. And how was it that you came across that person? Did you come across that person because you were seeking? Or was it that a friend or a family member had that experience and came to you and said, wait, hey, look, sounds crazy, don't lose hope. When you learn, truly learn, to reach that euphoria in meditation, you would then know when you decide to come down, you will have that ability to heal. Because it's hand in hand. You can't learn one without learning the other. Now, these are little tips. Please. You know, don't make me say, I beg of you. Because your soul, your spirit, your person, your life matters to people. It matters to me. Or I would never make these videos. Trust me. Okay? So, like I said, do your homework. Ask yourself truly. If you've been reading, have you reached that place? If you've been doing meditation, did you read that place? Because there's only, and the meditation that I teach is thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. It's thousands. You know, it was happening when Jesus was on earth, truly, and maybe even before. You know, I didn't look that far. That's one thing, I don't know why I never looked that far, but that's one thing, I never looked that far. And it's been buried. It's been buried so underground, I believe, because of the success. I believe because the church got scared. Some people got scared. They definitely got scared. And who did they give the credit to first? It's got to be Satan. It's got to be that devil. You know, I mean, you know, why would God heal people like that? One flew over the cuckoo's nest. Okay. Please take heed to this warning. It is a warning. You know, make sure that when you're learning meditation or you're wanting to learn meditation, let this video clip give you an understanding of what it is that should be there while you're searching. Okay? Meaning, while you're searching, if you don't bump into this or this or this or that that I have exposed on this video, I would definitely second guess. I would definitely second guess. If I wasn't born this way, I don't even know if I would have known it. Truly. I don't care who the guru is. I've had gurus from India walk right across, like we're talking like right across community centers to say to me, wow, I know you. I am so privileged. And meanwhile, you know, this person was the highlight. It's happened on a couple occasions. I just keep a medium to low profile. That's it. I don't like the flash, flash, bang, bang. Unless it's got to do with laughter, then I'm all for that. Okay? So, just take heed. And if you need to listen to this, listen to it again. It's not going to hurt. It'll set you free. Okay, I'm digging. This has been The Vibe. Like, share, subscribe, and ask a lot of questions. Okay? Oh, there goes my glasses. Man, I gotta get these fixed soon, I hope. I'm digging. This has been The Vibe.